I'm going to be covering a lot of major breaking news stories in separate videos. And the reason why I chose separate videos is because it's a lot easier format for me instead of just trying to cram everything into one video. And that being the case, I'm trying my business to research and analyze and make sure that everything is factual before I air. So what I'm doing, I'm taking it one story at a time. So let's get down to what's happening here on tonight. BBC News. According to BBC News, North Korea confirms custody of U.S. soldier Travis King. And the UN says there are efforts to bring Travis King home. I have a photo here of Travis King that I want to enlarge for purposes of clarity. This is the young man who is in custody right down in North Korea. I have it somewhat angled here so you can see it because I don't want the light to blind out everything. Now let's get down to the essence of this story. I reported, I think last week or a couple weeks ago, about him defecting into North Korea. And behind the scenes, there's a lot of negotiation going on, and we'll find out exactly what's happening. So according to BBC News, here's the info. North Korea has confirmed custody of Travis King in its first response to request for information on the U.S. soldiers' whereabouts, the UN command has said. The 23-year-old private dashed across the border from South Korea on 18th July while on a guided tour. The 23-year-old private, he dashed, as I said, over across the border. The UN command said it would not give more details about Pyongyang's response at this time. It said, quote, did not want to interfere with the efforts to bring him home, close quote. However, the reply indicates that Pyongyang could be ready to start negotiating. The UN command, which polices the demilitarized zone known as DMZ, has sought information on Private Second Class King using its direct phone line to the North Korean Army in the Joint Security Area. Quote, KPA has responded to the United Nations command with regards to PV2 or Private King. In order not to interfere with our efforts to get him home, we will not go into details at this time, close quote, a statement said. The North Koreans have previously acknowledged the request, but this is the first time they have responded, confirming the U.S. soldier is in their custody. North Korea has not publicly acknowledged custody of PV2 King. Before he crossed the border, PV2 King served 2 months in detention in South Korea for assault charges. He was released on 10th of July. He was supposed to fly back to the U.S. to face disciplinary proceedings, but managed to leave the airport and join the DMZ tour. He is a reconnaissance specialist who had been in the Army since January 2021 and was in South Korea as part of his rotation. The demilitarized zone separates the two Koreas and is one of the most heavily fortified areas in the world. It is filled with landmines surrounded by electric and barbed wire fencing and surveillance cameras. Armed guards are supposed to be on alert 24 hours a day. The DMZ has separated the two countries since the Korean War in the 1950s, in which the U.S. backed the South. The war ended with an armistice meeting that the two sides are still technically at war. Tens of thousands of U.S. troops remain in the South. As the U.S. and North Korea do not have diplomatic relations, the Swedish embassy in Pyongyang tends to negotiate on behalf of the U.S. Currently, its diplomatic staff are not in the country because of the ongoing border closure since the pandemic. Both the UN command that runs the border area and the South Korean military have direct phone lines to the North Korean military that they call daily to check in, though the North Koreans do not always pick up. In recent years, a number of American illegally entered North Korea, excluding those convicted of criminal activity there, have been released within 6 months. The detention of the soldier presents a major foreign policy headache for U.S. President Joe Biden. PV2 King is believed to be the only American citizen currently in North Korean custody. 6 South Koreans remain in detention there. I will keep you posted and briefed on exactly what the updates are going to be. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.